Hey, are you ready to retire with a peace of mind, leveraging a tool that many people might overlook? It's not your 401k, it's not a pension, it's actually life insurance, and I'm going to educate you on it today. Awesome. So if you guys don't know anything about my page, my name is Motivational MK, where I normalize financial literacy in communities that are overlooked and underserved, because let's be real, we really don't have people coming to knock at our door and teach us about personal finances. So today I'm going to talk about some of the realities of what's going on when it comes to retirement, right? Some of the chaos that's taking place, but most importantly, giving you proper tools that you can plan for the future and make sure that you can create a guaranteed stream of lifetime income that you'll never outlive. And so if someone sent you this video, definitely make sure that you watch it all the way to the end, because we may have some nuggets in the back. Okay, let's talk about it. Okay, so if we look here, when it comes to retirement, there was originally a three-legged stool when it came to retirement. The first stool was a pension, right? So basically how a pension works is it's like, hey, you come work for me, give me your life, 20, 30 years, but I'm going to pay you for a lifetime. I'm going to take care of you for the rest of your life. That's a pension, right? Well, I'm going to give you a guaranteed check that you're guaranteed to never outlive. The other stool for retirement is savings. And then the last one is Social Security. And so if you notice here, even with Social Security too is also another guaranteed stream of lifetime income. So out of these three-legged stools, when it came to the original stool for retirement, 2 out of 3 were guaranteed streams of lifetime income. But let me ask you this. Unless you work for the government or maybe some special type of union, because let's be real, not even a lot of unions are offering pensions anymore. Pensions are practically non-existent today, right? Like, do they exist? Yes, 1,000% they do, but it's actually 3 ways that you can get your pension terminated. Okay. The first way you can get your pension terminated is called involuntary termination, right? So this is when the company, they're not able to make ends meet and they have to terminate, right? Now, all pensions currently right now are managed by the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation, which got started. And literally, since it's been established, over 80% of pensions have actually been eliminated. When this corporation was originally started to protect pensions, but they are able to deem whether a company can afford pensions or not afford pensions, and they can also help companies dissolve those pensions, where you may receive a payout, but you're no longer receiving a guaranteed stream of lifetime income. We saw with a lot of companies that have done it in the past before, just to kind of name a couple different airlines actually filed for bankruptcy. They got rid of their pension that they offered people. They paid out, but up to the statutory limit. And so if you were working hard for a company, how would you feel if you bust your butt 20 years, 30 years, and they said, hey, our company's going belly up, we can't afford to pay for you anymore? You'd probably feel some type of way, right? Other one is standard termination, and the other one is distress termination. So standard termination basically means that the company is able to basically pay out what they need to pay out to people. They give you a lump sum, and it is what it is. Hey, we're not entitled to give you a guaranteed stream of lifetime income. Same with distress, companies going belly up. And this is when the PBGC steps in and they say, hey, no problem. We'll cover it for you, again, up to the statutory limit. We'll give you a lump sum, but you're not receiving a guaranteed stream of lifetime income. So many people don't know that there are actual ways that your pension can be eliminated. And so going back to my original point, if we know pensions are practically non-existent, right? There's 3 ways that pensions can actually get eliminated, and companies are actively doing that. Let me ask you this. By the time that you're retired, do you think Social Security will be around? Let me ask you a better question. Maybe you're a Gen Xer and you're watching this, right? There's an article that's going out right now that if Congress doesn't do anything different, by 2034, we're expected to see Social Security benefits reduced by 21%. 21%, okay? If Social Security, if they don't do anything different in Congress. And so let's be real. Hey, Social Security may be at risk. Pensions are practically non-existent. And so once pensions started to practically become non-existent, a lot of companies started to offer what we call 401ks, right? And so to keep it super, super simple, I'm going to dull it down to this. Whether these are 401ks, 403bs, TSPs, deferred comps, 457s, all tax codes, but they're all the exact same thing. Do you work for a non-for-profit? Do you work for a corporation? Do you work in the medical field? Are you in the military? Those are all different arenas with all fancy names, but they all literally do the exact same thing. And so to keep it super simple, there's 2 different types of plans. You have defined benefit plans, and then you have defined contribution plans. Defined benefit plans is in relation to a pension. So let's break it down. Defined, set amount, benefit. That's what you're going to receive, right? That's your plan. Versus defined contribution plan, you have a defined amount of what you can contribute. Let me give you an example. A pension says, hey, you come work for me. Again, give me 20, 30 years of your life. This is exactly how much money you're going to receive in retirement based upon the amount of years that you worked. And the responsibility is on me as the employer and not on you as the employee, right? Because you're committing to me to work for 20, 30 years. And since you're willing to work for my company, I'm going to take care of you and your family. Hence why grandma, maybe grandpa worked at one company for practically their whole life because they wanted to make sure they got fully vested into their pension. Versus a defined contribution plan. So once pension started to become basically non-existent in the late 70s, 401k started to get introduced. And the reason why 401k was introduced, because they were like, hey, the average American isn't investing into the stock market. We want to get more people to invest inside of the stock market. And it's crazy because the guy who actually founded it, he said that, man, it was one of the worst financial decisions that he ever made, and it made Wall Street a lot richer. But anyways, I'm not here saying that 401ks are bad vehicles to invest in or different things like that. But what I am saying is that a lot of people are treating their 401k like a pension, and it's something completely different. Remember, pensions, defined benefit plans, based upon however long you work for me, you're going to get a set amount in retirement versus defined contribution plans. I'm going to define how much you can put into it. I'm going to give you a ceiling, but there's not going to be a guarantee on what you're going to receive when you retire. And so let me ask you this. If you're putting your money in a place where it's not guaranteed to be there for retirement, how much of your money are you going to put in that bucket? Now, I'm not saying it's a bad place to put your money. I believe in investing. I'm a licensed life insurance agent. I'm not a financial advisor. My main focus is safety and protection, okay? But I'm just giving you a little bit of perspective. How much of your money would you put in a bucket that you could potentially lose it all? You probably wouldn't do 95%, safe to say. But would you believe me if I told you that's the hard reality of people today? Many people are treating 401ks, 457s, TSPs, thrift savings plans as pensions when it's defined contribution plans. And so if we look at data, because men lie, women lie, data doesn't, I'm only here to just simply educate you, right? Give you perspective. Let me give you the definition between average and median. Average, you can have outliers, right? Outliers are people that they may have more money in retirement, which can make the numbers look skewed and make more people look better off than they are, right? Versus the median. So average is overall divided by the amount of people, and there's your average. Median is where most people are. Okay, so let's look at average versus median. So if we look here, in between the ages of 25 and 34 years old, the average amount is $37,000. Where most people are, $14,000. Right? That's crazy. That's less than half. If we do 35 to 44 years old, average amount, $91,000. Median amount, most people are $35,000. 45 to 54 years old, average amount, $168,000. Median amount, most people are $60,000. That's over $100,000 difference. If you're 55 to 64 years old, this is where my Gen Xers come in at. Average, $245,000. Not bad. Median, $87,000. 65 plus years old, $273,000. So these are everyone that's boomers and more mature. Median, $88,000. So let me give you some perspective, okay? Because again, men lie, women lie. Data doesn't. Most people need about $1 million when it comes to planning for retirement, okay? And let's be real. If they don't have a pension, right, based upon certain jobs, some of them aren't even going to get Social Security. And then if they're banking off of buckets that are not guaranteed, then how can you make sure you will not outlive your money in retirement? Let me give you a little bit more perspective. There's actually 3 risks that you want to consider when it comes to planning for retirement. First one is longevity risk. What money do you have in your portfolio? Okay, so you definitely want to have savings. You want to have 3 to 6 months of emergency expenses. You want to have money that you can access, right? You want to have stocks. You want to have different investments, right? If you like risk, awesome. I love that for you. You want to have some of your money there. And then you want to have some of your money in a bucket that you're guaranteed to never outlive. Okay, so when it comes to longevity risk is you want to have your money in assets that are going to guarantee that you do not outlive your money. With advancement in technology and science, people are living a lot longer, and they need to make sure that they create some type of vehicles that they will not risk outliving their money. The other thing is sequence of return risk, right? So, you guys, this information is available and out there. One of the guys that talks about it a lot, his name is Tom Hegna. And there was an interview that he was doing with a gentleman, and he was saying how it's not about what the stock market average is, right? It's about the sequence of returns. If there's 2 years, 3 years down, when it comes to you retiring, you're going to eventually run out of money just because of the sequence of returns that I had 2 bad years back to back? Did I have 3 bad years back to back in retirement? Man, do I want my retirement to be solely predicated off of the stock market? Probably not. Then last but not least here is inflation risk. So do you know if your money is outpacing the rate of inflation? So not only are you pulling money from it, but then you also wanted to get a return to recoup the money that you're pulling out, but then you also wanted to keep up with the rate of inflation. And so with all in all of this stuff being said, you're probably thinking like, man, I almost feel hopeless, right? Where I don't know how I can make sure that I don't have to worry about longevity risk. I don't have to worry about sequence of return risk. I don't have to worry about inflation risk. Like, how can I make sure that I can retire with dignity and create some real wealth for my family? That's why you're here today. So now let's talk about some solutions. So what we specialize in, we show people how to take their defined contribution plans, whether these are 401ks, 403bs, IRAs, deferred comps, 457s, right? We teach you how to take TSAs. We teach you how to take those vehicles and we show you how to convert them from defined contribution plans to defined benefit plans. Defined benefit plans meaning, hey, I'm going to get a check for the rest of my life in retirement. And you may say, well, how is that possible? It's a beautiful word called annuities. Now, I know annuities get a bad rep. Hear me out. Pensions are actually annuities. Social Security is an annuity, right? Now, the government didn't manage it right, and that's why it's potentially at a deficit where it's at. A lot of companies stopped offering pensions because it cost them too much money. But let me ask you this. Where would you buy an annuity from? You probably have no idea. Annuities are only offered from life insurance companies. Let me ask you this question. When have you ever heard of the life insurance industry crashing? I'll wait. You never have. You never have, and you never will. Life insurance has been around for over 2,000 years. There's no safer place to put your money. And so when it comes to you looking at retirement, you have your liquidity, right? You have your money in the bank. You have your money in the stock market. You're going to want to diversify your portfolio and put some of that money in insurance. Why? Because you want principal protection. You want some actual growth that will outpace the rate of inflation. And you also want to create a guaranteed stream of lifetime income. Last but not least, you also want to avoid probate upon you passing away. You want that money to go to your family without any legal litigation or anything like that. That's what you're going to get with an annuity. So if you're someone, you're looking to grow your money, maybe with the market, and experience 0% of the downside. I mean 0% of the downside. So we show people how to grow money. We show people the guaranteed way on to never lose money. Guaranteed. Not a lot of things to say guaranteed, but life insurance companies can because you've never heard of them crashing before. So if you want to grow your money, never lose your money, and you want to create your own guaranteed stream of lifetime income just like you would with the pension, you may be someone that may want to consider an annuity. So if you have a defined contribution plan, maybe you have a 401k, a 403b, an IRA, or TSP. If you have an employee sponsored plan and you're over the age of 59 and a half, you may be potentially eligible to protect some of that money inside of an annuity. If you have an old retirement account, maybe with a different company, you may be eligible to protect some of your money inside of an annuity. Maybe you have your own separate accounts that you've been planning for and you're like, hey, I want to add annuities to my portfolio. I can do a lump sum inside of an annuity. You may be eligible to put and protect some of your money inside of a fixed indexed annuity. And so you guys, as I wrap up this video, I want to know, what were some of your takeaways? Put some of your takeaways in a comment and do me a favor. The person that texts you this video, go ahead and text them back some of your takeaways. And we look forward to talking to you soon. Appreciate you guys for tuning into my channel. Let's go.